Hello, it's Jennifer Woodman, the proud principal of St. Hilary School. I'm here in our school building and in our kindergarten hallway right now. And even though students are not present, it is still as warm and magical as ever. I'm here to welcome you to our kindergarten orientation, virtual style. So before we get to the several topics that you want to hear about, I would like to read you a prepared statement. And this statement is really in response to all of your questions and concerns. We've had several parents in the past few weeks reach out and ask us some questions, and I thought it would be best to address you like this. Even though it's online setting, that's okay. We're here for you. So I'm going to read you a statement right now, and I'm sorry if I'm looking off camera, but I'd like to read it in its entirety to hopefully answer those questions and concerns. So with so much uncertainty as we prepare for the 2020-21 school year, we know parents are wondering about what is the best plan for their children. This seems to be especially true for parents sending children to kindergarten with no real frame of reference to guide them. We want to assure parents that even if we must continue to teach and learn online as we have been doing this spring, the value of a Catholic education at St. Hilary School is still unparalleled. At St. Hilary School, your tuition dollars do not just pay for the basics of education, like books and materials. Your tuition dollars pay for a formative experience that is grounded in faith, supported by a school family, and fosters a lifelong love of learning. We have been commonly hearing several questions. What is the difference between learning online at St. Hilary School and learning online in a public school setting? Why would a parent pay for tuition online at St. Hilary School when online learning is available for free in a public school setting? These questions can be answered with another set of questions. Are you looking for a complete developmental experience for your child, or are you simply looking for a filler experience to get by until traditional schooling can resume? Are you thinking about your child's long-term educational plan, or are you simply thinking about the coming school year in a vacuum? An analogy that may be helpful is to think of your child's experience as a tree. The online learning portion of the school experience is the trunk of the tree, the most basic part. Any school can offer it. But what are the roots of that tree like? At St. Hilary School, the roots are the faith we instill into everything we do, each and every day. If you are seeking an educational experience for your child that models the same values you instill in them at home, and if part of what you teach at home involves learning about God, St. Hilary School is the partner you need to educate your child. Even in an online learning setting, our students have the opportunity to pray and say the Pledge of Allegiance together every morning on our video announcements. Our students have the opportunity to partake in live stream school masses every week. We continue to offer prayer and rosary services even in an online setting. And of course, the students participate in religion classes as a part of the curriculum. But we don't just stop there. Our students continue to have opportunities to serve others, build character, and be a part of a school community, a larger family, even during the most restrictive, disheartening conditions that most of us have ever experienced at this time. You can see by these examples, the roots of our tree are solid because they are formed in faith. What do the branches of the tree look like? Bare branches symbolize a basic learning experience that follows a prescribed curriculum, but not much more. In comparison, branches with robust foliage symbolize differentiated, individualized instruction that St. Hilary School provides. If your child needs extra help, we can provide that even online. If your child needs additional challenges, we can provide that even online. And not only do we provide these extras, we make them meaningful, fun, enjoyable, innovative, and so much more. The branches of our tree are full of the life that pulses through the instruction we offer. And just as each child is unique, so is each of the leaves that fill our branches. Does the tree have flowers? Flowers set a tree apart from all the others in the forest. At St. Hilary School, the nurturing, caring approach of each teacher and teaching assistant and the personalized one-to-one attention given to each child can be symbolized not just by tiny flower buds on a tree, but by big, beautiful blossoms. During online instruction, our teachers are taking the time to go beyond regular Zoom meetings with the entire class, working and talking virtually with each and every student, and often with parents on an individual basis. Because developing emerging reading skills is such a key piece of our kindergarten experience, our teachers and teaching assistants spend an incredible amount of time working on reading with students in a virtual format. Teachers take the time to get to know each student as a person and to understand the nuances that will help each child achieve his or her fullest potential. The flowers on our St. Hilary tree are stunning representations of our dedicated, creative, loving teaching staff who go above and beyond to provide a rich experience even under these less than ideal learning conditions. Finally, does the tree bear fruit? The fruit of a St. Hilary school education is the ability for a student to take what has been learned each year and use it as the foundation for the next year. Our curriculum is designed to progress logically from one school year to the next, and our bar is set higher at St. Hilary School than at many other schools. When the mandate was given to move to online learning, St. Hilary School moved within hours to this new format, while other schools took weeks to assess and adjust before beginning. Valuable instructional time was lost at other schools, but St. Hilary students did not miss a beat. Regardless of what the 2020-21 school year looks like, or school years after that, St. Hilary School students will be ready to move smoothly from one grade level to the next because they will be armed with an educational experience that exceeds what is offered elsewhere. And knowing how well our online learning has gone this spring with only hours to shift from a traditional classroom, we are energized by the possibilities to make our online learning experience even more enriching, if we must go to that platform again, thanks to all the additional time we'll have. Having said all this, there are two more important things you need to know. First, as educators, we want to return to school in the traditional manner as soon as we can safely do so. We do not like the online learning format any more than our students and parents do. Using this format to provide an experience that resembles what our students would receive in the classroom each day requires an extraordinary amount of time and effort on the part of our entire staff, but is what we do because we are St. Hilary School and we demand the same excellence of ourselves that we inspire in our students. Online learning is not ideal, but we are all at the mercy of what we are mandated to do in the interest of public health and safety, and we must comply with whatever directives are given for the 2020-21 school year. So while planning with hope for a traditional school year, at the same time we are also planning for a variety of scenarios that may include online learning. At this time, no guidance has been given to us other than to plan for a range of situations, and at this time no decisions have been made. As soon as we know what the next school year will look like, we will of course share that with you. The second, and perhaps the most important thing you need to know, is that if you are looking for a complete formative experience for your child, and if you are thinking about your child's long-term educational plan, not just a filler experience to get through this next school year, the best decision you can make is to maintain your child's enrollment at St. Hilary School. Don't look at the coming school year in isolation. See the bigger picture and what that 1 year means in the grand scheme of things. What you and your child take away from the 2020-21 school year will be dictated largely by the decisions you make as a parent, the attitude you project, and the approach you take to your child's learning. You can see it as just 1 year that will be lost and take the path of least resistance, or you can see it as one of many important foundational years in your child's development and choose the path that affords the most fulfilling, rigorous, well-rounded, intensive, personalized, loving, nurturing, Christ-centered experience you can possibly find. Our school is blessed with a solid enrollment, but we have seen what loss of customers and revenue has done and will continue to do to businesses across the country. Think about the stores and restaurants you love, and think again about how many of them may not survive the current situation through no fault of their own. It is not unrealistic to think that if large numbers of families flock to public schools in the fall, thinking they will receive a better value with free online education, our school will be in the same situation as so many businesses are now finding themselves. If it is your inclination to ride out the coming school year in a public school and then return to St. Hilary when traditional school resumes, we strongly urge that you reconsider that decision in order to ensure that St. Hilary School will still be a viable school when things return to normal. Our families are the bedrock of our school. We need you to stand strong with us now so that we can journey through this unprecedented time together with an eye toward the better future we all know will come. The future begins here.
Hi everyone, I am Darcy Alexander. I am the assistant principal at St. Hilary. I have also taught first grade and third grade at St. Hilary, and I am an alumni. I think that's a common theme. You'll probably hear that a few times throughout this video, that there's a lot of alumni that work at our school. It makes it pretty special. I did not get the chance to meet most of you or your children at Kindergarten Kaleidoscope. I was still on maternity leave, and now I sadly can't meet them or meet you at orientation due to this crazy time that we're living in. But hopefully we can make do and this can give you some information. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the daily schedule for your incoming kindergartner, and if your child is going to be absent at any point, just some information on how to handle that. First, the daily schedule, and I apologize, I have my PowerPoint in front of me. The daily schedule, our first bell is at 8:20 and the tardy bell is 8:30. So that does not mean that you cannot get there earlier. The kids convene in the multi-purpose room. Again, this is pre-COVID, so we are in the works of making new arrangements. But typically they would come in, they would sit down with their kindergarten class until 8:20 when the bell would ring, and they would go to their classrooms. That being said, you can still arrive up until 8:30 by the drop-off line or by bus. But again, 8:30 is the tardy bell. 10:15, the kindergartners have morning recess by themselves. This is before lunch periods. They will have another recess after their lunch, which is at, their lunch is at 12 and their recess would be at 12:20. Dismissal is at 3 o'clock for kindergarten. I mean, 3:05 is for everybody, but kindergarten gets to go down 5 minutes early at 3 o'clock. So they don't have to be mixing in with the big kids down the hallway. So they will have a teacher or a teaching assistant walk them down at 3 o'clock to wherever they may need to leave from, whether that's bus or hallway or car line. Okay, if your child is going to be absent, please call the office by 9:30 and let them know if your child is sick or if they have an appointment, whatever the reason may be. That way we can keep track of where the students are. Please keep your child home for 24 hours if they have been after 24 hours symptom free. So if, for example, if they had a fever or maybe they were vomiting, please keep them home for 24 full hours from the time they had a fever or they were vomiting. Also, that being said, we want to make sure that parents understand we want you to keep your children home if they are sick. We actually, even before this whole COVID craziness, discussed maybe taking away the award for attendance, perfect attendance, just because what's the point of a child getting stressed out about coming to school for perfect attendance if they have a fever. We don't want that, especially now. So we are taking that award away for perfect attendance. So yes, do we want your child coming to school every day? 100%. If they are sick though, please, please, please keep them home. When your child is sick, the next day, please send in a note to their teacher explaining why they were absent so the teacher is aware. Also, the school nurse will call you if your child gets sick at school. So if they get a bellyache or have a fever or have an accident at school, the school nurse will call you and have you come pick them up. So a note about vacations. So we hope that vacations are put to a minimum. Sometimes they get a little crazy with, a child out 10 days here or 10 days there, or even if it's 3 days here, 3 days there, they do add up. So although we're not saying you cannot do that, we understand that there's circumstances that you need to take your child out, especially maybe in kindergarten, you're thinking this is maybe the last year they can do it. A lot of families do, but please try to keep it to a minimum because those days do add up. And in kindergarten, it's a big deal because they're learning how to read, and there's just a lot that we don't want them missing. So teachers are not obligated to prepare work for your child. I would say that, actually, I'd say 100% of our teachers are willing to do that. I know that they all do. So if you do ask them, can you get work before we leave for Columbus to visit their grandparents this weekend? The teacher's going to say sure, but they are not obligated to. So if you do want some work for your child to work on, if you are taking them out, please give the teachers plenty of notice. That's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, dalexander@st-hillary.org. We are at our computers all day now. This is how we live, but I can't wait to meet all of you and see your kindergartners in the fall, or at least hopefully. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Hi, it's Mrs. Woodman again, and I am going to tell you about our drop-off and pickup. So first of all, in the morning, when you are dropping off your child, we have 2 ways that you can drop off. One is on our Moorfield side, and the other is on our parking lot side. So we just ask that your children are ready to go and get out of the car on the passenger side when they are in the drop-off zone. The drop-off zone can probably hold about 3 or 4 cars. And when you are in the zone, there will be an adult, a staff member who is there to assist if your child needs help getting out of the car or has anything to carry in. But those are the 2 sides that you can drop off. You can also park your car and walk your child safely across the parking lot and our crosswalk and entering the building that way. So those are our drop-off zones. And then our pickup zones are a little bit different. So we do not have any pickup on Moorfield side. On the Moorfield side, that is where all of our buses come. And we actually are very blessed to have busing from 4 different public school districts. That's Copley, Revere, Highland, and Woodridge. And within the email that all of this is contained, we do have a survey monkey that you can fill out if you are looking for busing from one of those school districts. So just check that out when you can. So we do not pick up on Moorfield side, but we do pick up in a couple places. So first, for kindergarten, you can go to the back parking lot and you will see what we call the red box. And it is literally a red box painted on the pavement. And that box is an area where you would wait for your child. So you would go to the red box, and then the teaching assistants and staff would safely cross over the crosswalk your child to you and make sure that you are reunited and paired up. Now, if you have an older child you're waiting on, you can certainly wait in the red box for that child to come out, but it'll be about 5 minutes later because we do like kindergarten to come out a little early so they reunite with their parents. So that's the one way for pickup, is the red box. The other way for pickup would be if you would come into our hallway, our main hallway, and do a hallway pickup. So that would be where the teaching assistant would be walking your child down the hallway and pair them up with you there. And of course, we have students who, like I said, take the bus home, or they might go to our aftercare latchkey program. So those are all of the ways that your child could be dropped off and then picked up.
My name is Marissa Decker. I'm the Latchkey Director at St. Hilary School. I am so excited to chat with you guys a little bit today about the program itself. I myself have been working here for the past 13 years. I also graduated from St. Hilary and I'm a Latchkey alum. So who better than to chat a little bit about this program with you? The program itself is offered for families who are in need of assistance and care before or after school hours. Our morning latchkey begins at 6:50 a.m. and it goes until the school doors open at 8 o'clock in the morning. We do offer breakfast in case your children need it. Our afternoon latchkey begins at 3 o'clock p.m. or when the school day ends, and it goes until 6 o'clock p.m. During that time, typically the teachers do bring the students down to the multipurpose room so that way they know where to go, and that's great for the kindergartners. We do check everybody in. We also have some play time, whether it's free time in the gym or running around outside on the playground. We do offer a snack and a juice, and we do offer also for the older kids a 30-minute homework time. Usually that's when we try to stay as quiet as possible, so we'll take the kindergartners into a different room and they can play with different games, puzzles, read a book, watch a movie, different things like that to keep their attention. There is a $25 registration fee for the year, and then you are billed every single time you come. Depends on how many children you have attending the program, but it's all listed online as well as the brochure that we'll be handing out at Back to School Night. We will have a table there in August, so if you have any questions, just let me know. I do have a nice, awesome army of supervisors that come in. They are all wonderful with the children. We are very blessed with every single person that has been working with this program over the years. They also, fun fact, have all graduated from St. Hilary and or attended the Latchkey program. So we've got some alums working with your kids. They know exactly what it feels like and how to make this entire program a safe and enjoyable place for your children. So if you need us, we're here for you. If you desire to chat anymore, we'll be at Back to School Night. Thanks so much.
Hi everyone, my name's Debbie Sinopoli. I'm the Director of Marketing and Admissions here at St. Hilary, and it's been my pleasure to work with all of you on the process of enrolling your children into our school and into our kindergarten program. And I'd like to thank you for your patience during this time when we've had to rework some things and do things a little bit differently this year than we normally would do. So we're all coming to you today from our homes, and you've heard some things so far about some of the different aspects of our day at St. Hilary, and I am going to tell you a little bit about one of the very important parts of our day, which is lunch. We have a wonderful hot lunch program here at St. Hilary. We have many items that are homemade, prepared from scratch, including soups, sauces, salads, sandwiches, a whole variety of things that are very kid-friendly but also very wholesome that are made right in our kitchen, homemade. There are also some kid-friendly items that are favorites that are brought in several times during the month. For example, every Monday is Pizza Day. Several times during the month we have Chick-fil-A and Subway that are brought in, so those are also kid-friendly favorites. One of the most important things to know about our hot lunch program is the way we do our ordering. So you will go online on our school website every month from the 1st to the 10th of the month as the program is open, and you will order for the upcoming month. So one of the most important things in your acceptance packet that you should have received is this form right here, and you're going to want to go online, create your online account to order lunches, and do that now or sometime soon when you have time. Don't wait till August, because the first round of ordering will actually begin on August 1st, and that will be coming up for the beginning of the school year. So go ahead and create your online account now, get that done, and you'll be good to go for ordering hot lunches. Next thing I'd like to talk a little bit about is our communication at the school. We have many ways that we communicate with you on a school level as well as on the classroom level. So at the school level, we have our school website. We also have a mass email that goes out every Monday and Thursday with the latest news from the school. We have our school Google Calendar, our school Facebook page, and once a month we also have a principal's newsletter that will be emailed out to you. Another important thing in your acceptance packet that you want to be sure you return, and you can either scan this or take a picture of it and email it to Mrs. Smith or myself, and the email addresses are listed in your child's acceptance letter that came with your acceptance packet. Very important that you return this so that you can be looped in for our mass emails and for our One Call Now phone calls. There will be some mass emails going out over the summer with things that you're going to want to know for the start of the school year, so please make sure that you return that form right away or you will miss out on important communication over the summer. And that is what that slide there is showing. Next up, classroom communication. There are many different ways that the teachers will be communicating with you. They all do a wonderful classroom newsletter that you'll be getting. Progress reports go out different times during the year. Mid-quarter interims as needed. Quarterly report cards are posted on our online GradeLink service, which you'll be getting access to in the fall. And then we have conferences that are scheduled for every family in November. You can, of course, schedule a conference at any time if you feel you need one. You can always email the teacher with any concerns. That probably is the best way to get a hold of a teacher, unless it's something that's of an urgent nature. Suppose you have maybe a change in how your child's going home on a particular day, or you're going to be picking up your child early, or just something that's a more urgent concern that you want the teacher to know about right away. The best way to make that concern known is by sending a note. Your child's going to have a folder that will go back and forth between home and school each day, with mail from the school to you and mail from you to the school. So anything like that would be checked first thing in the morning and seen right away. So anything that's urgent like that, again, put it in the form of a note versus an email to the teacher. And there's just some pictures for you on the next slide if you're following along on the slides of some of the things that they do in kindergarten. And of course, we don't want you to miss out on a single thing. What if you have questions? Who can you contact with questions? Always start with your child's teacher. That's always the best place to start. You can also contact our school office, and you see the phone number listed there. I'm always available as a resource as well. My number and my email are listed there as well. And all of you will be being matched with a veteran mentor family. That's a family that's been with us at the school for a while, who will be reaching out to you, should be in about June, reaching out to you. And they will be a resource for you as well if you have any questions. So that's another place that you can contact. And then we have our lovely secretaries. If you have not met them yet, Mrs. Smith and Miss Malik are always willing to help you with any questions that you might have. So feel free to get to know them as the school year begins, and you can even email them during the summer if you have any questions about anything. Okay, and at this time I'd like to introduce our kindergarten teachers who are going to share with you about our kindergarten curriculum. Also want to mention, we don't want to forget about our wonderful teaching assistants. Unfortunately, because of the format that we have, we're not able to have everyone in person or have everyone creating these videos. It would just be a little bit much. So we do have a little slide included so that you can at least put the faces with the names of the teaching assistants that will be working with your children in the kindergarten program. But at this time, I'd like to introduce our kindergarten teachers. And I'm introducing them in alphabetical order, but they will be each covering a portion of the kindergarten curriculum. So we have Miss Bennett, Mrs. Haskins, and Mrs. Holland, and they're going to share with you now about our kindergarten curriculum.
And I am one of the kindergarten teachers at St. Hilary School. Although this is my first year teaching at St. Hilary's, I have taught in Catholic education for the past 17 years. My two sons attend St. Hilary's, and we have been parishioners for the past 3 years. I am so excited to be joining the staff at St. Hilary's this year. Our kindergarten team will teach you a little bit about our kindergarten curriculum. I will tell you about our reading program, also known as Super Kids. The Super Kids program is a comprehensive language arts program crafted for grades K to 2. At the heart of its mission is the belief that every child can become a successful reader. Super Kids also incorporates science and social studies into our lessons, bringing topics and vocabulary to life. Students will love being introduced to the Super Kids. The Super Kids are a diverse group of students, each with their own interest and song. And trust me, your child will come home singing about their favorite Super Kid. The leveled library is just one of the components that truly help us to reach each child where they are at, and to help develop vocabulary and comprehension skills. One of the best features is the online component that you can use at home to reinforce skills that have been taught in the classroom. My biggest passion in life has always been children's literature, and I cannot wait to help your child get excited for reading.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Holland, room 101, and I would like to welcome you to our Kindergarten Orientation 2020. I would like to go over with you, first of all, our math program. I'm not going to read to you everything that's on the slide, but I'm just going to give you a quick overview what to expect. We have Envisions, which is the name of our program, and it is interactive with our Promethean boards. The kids love it. I always start the lesson with Mr. Fish, which is like a 2-minute animated little fish, and he explains the topic of the day. And then we have our math mats that we go over together, and the kids can come up to the board and write the answers. I can have more than one child up at the board using it. It's great. Then we have lots of hands-on manipulatives that come with this program. And even things like, for example, snack time. I'll pass out colored goldfish and I'll tell them to sort the colors, and then I'll tell them to graph the colors. Let's do it in a column. Let's graph it in a row. Then let's eat 2 goldfish, and how many do we have left? They don't even know they're doing subtraction. So it's fun. We make it fun. So then the next slide are pictures, and at the top you can see that was a celebration of 100th Day. We make a big deal about 100th Day. We have so many fun activities planned for that day. And then they're doing math bingo, worksheet, and then the last picture is another example of how we sort and graph seeds, for example, in columns. Okay, religion, obviously everyone's favorite subject. And thank you for choosing St. Hilary as your school, and because of the religion, I'm sure, is the reason why you are entrusting us with your children, with your child. But religion is, it's not so much Catholicism in kindergarten, it's more about you are very special, God loves you, and we want you to be a good person, a kind person. We do go to Mass during holy days at the beginning of the school year, and then come January, we attend every Friday with Mass or Holy Day. At the beginning of the school year, we teach them what to expect in Mass, and we take them on a tour and teach them about the kneelers and the books and how we behave in the church. And then they sit with their buddies, and they love it. So I just want to give you a little heads up that if you join us, which we would love to have you join us at Mass on Fridays when we go, but if you come and you tell your child, okay, come on, let's go sit in the back, and they sit there and shake their head and don't want to go with you, it's because they want to stay with their buddy. They love their buddy. It's not that they don't love you, but they sitting at church with your buddy is like the best thing ever. Social studies and science kind of goes with religion. We talk about new life in science, and we talk about friends and feelings in social studies. We come up with a class constitution at the beginning of the year. Everyone gets to contribute and talk about the rules of the school, and then they all sign it with any color marker that they choose. And it's part of them. They come up with the rules, and when we do it together, there's no, the kids really understand what is expected from them. We also have, in science, we do a weekly reader, and sometimes it could be social studies as well. And it's a Let's Find Out little magazine. And it comes with sometimes a video, and it could be a math lesson on the back about new life and seeds, or it could be Groundhog Day, and we can make predictions. So we usually have one about once a week, and that's incorporated in our social studies, science, even math, religion. It's just a great enrichment to our program. The next slide are some pictures of our field trips. We do go to the apple farm. The date has not been selected yet, but as soon as we choose the date and it's accepted, then we will definitely communicate with you and let you know when the trip to the apple farm is. It's a great field trip. We also have an Advent play that we do every year. It teaches about the true meaning of Christmas. You're not going to want to miss that either. And again, we will communicate with you with all the dates that for some of you who may need to take off work, we'll give you plenty of time to be able to do that. Health and safety. These are just a few of the many units we do throughout the school year. We even have, in the next picture slide, you can see there's a child safety house, which is parked outside our school building. And it teaches the children all about fire safety, tornado safety. They do an excellent job, and they do an amazing job not scaring the children, and if it were to be a real life situation. We're so blessed to have them. We also do make gingerbread cookies, and we give them to our buddies. Sometimes we have parent volunteers that come in, and maybe it's dental week or dental month, and we'll have someone who's a dentist come in and talk to the children, or maybe a real fireman. I had a fireman once, and a firefighter, and he came all suited up and showed the kids his equipment, and it was great. It was a great experience for the children. So that's all I have to say for right now, and I cannot wait to meet you in person in the fall. Thank you so much for entrusting your children with us, and you won't regret it. And I have 3 children, and I truly believe that the reason why they're so successful in school is because they had a great foundation. All right. Hopefully see you soon. Stay healthy, stay safe. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Miss Bennett, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers, and I'm going to talk to you about daily specials and differentiated learning. Throughout your child's week, they'll attend many different specials, and I'm just going to talk about a few of them that you see on the slide. We have Enrichment Art with Sister Carol Joy, and this is where your child will learn about many famous artists. We also have Enrichment Music, and your child will be in a small group and learn through music and movement with Miss Trisha Thompson. We also have Makerspace, which your child can get creative and make STEM-based projects. With differentiated learning, we have centers, and your child can explore and be enriched. We also are very lucky to have assistants in our classroom. This allows us to work with small groups or work individually with students. We also have intervention specialists, speech therapists, other tutors throughout our building that are able to support your child's learning. We do benchmark testing 3 times a year. We do a Super Kids test at the end of every unit so we can see how your child has progressed. We also have teachers that are trained in Orton Gillingham, which is a multi-sensory based way to learn to read. We have tutoring services available. I look forward to meeting all of you. Have a great day.
Hello again, everyone. I'm back with you again to talk to you a little bit about some of the other little details that you're going to need to know as your child comes into kindergarten. One of the most important things that you're going to want to be prepared with are your child's school supplies. In your acceptance packet, there was a purple sheet that looks like this that will list out all of the things for you that your child's going to need for school supplies to start the year. Obviously, with the situation that we have right now, I know the stores are limited and no one really feels like going out to shop as such. We don't know how long that's going to continue. So one thing that we do offer, and we actually offer this every year, this is a new company that we have though this year called First Day School Supplies, but it's a nice service that's optional. If you choose to pre-order your supplies, they will actually come packaged from this list. So the company actually takes this list that we provide to them, they package everything up for you and ship it so that you don't need to go and shop for a single thing if you choose not to do that. So just an option for you during this time, kind of a safer way that you can get what your child's going to need and make sure that he or she is ready for the first day of school. And speaking of the first day of school, tentatively right now, unless we hear otherwise from the governor, our first day of school is scheduled for August 24th. So we're hoping that we can get going as planned. For kindergartners, we do have a staggered entry system though. So the way that works is on August 24th, the first half of the alphabet in each classroom would come only for a half a day until noon. On the second day, on August 25th, the second half of the alphabet in each classroom would come only for a half day until noon. And you'll know which half your child falls in when the class lists are posted on August 1st. So your child will either come on Monday or Tuesday, but not both days, just for a half day. Then on Wednesday, August 26th, all of the kindergartners will come, but again, just for a half day until noon. So important things to know about those half days. Obviously, since it's a half day, we won't have lunch for your kindergartner on those days. We will not have busing available at noon, and we do not have our latchkey program available at noon. So your child has to be picked up at noon on those 3 days, August 24th, 25th, and 26th. Then our full day program begins on August 27th, Thursday. So important to know for that, your child will need lunch arrangements, either lunch that you've packed from home or a lunch that you've ordered through our hot lunch program, which we talked about earlier. Your child will also need to have a rest time towel, and will also need to have homegoing arrangements, whether that be going to latchkey after school, riding a bus, or being picked up by car. And Mrs. Woodman talked earlier about the busing, so obviously let us know if you have any questions about that. But we do have volunteers in place and staff in place that will make sure that your children get safely where they need to go on that first full day. I know it's a little bit daunting, but I promise we will make it all work safely. So that's our staggered entry. If you have any questions about how that works, just get a hold of us in August. You'll know more about that on August 1st once the class lists are posted. Now, just a couple things about ways that you and your children can get involved to make your school experience here at St. Hilary even a little bit more enriched. We do have 2 parent leadership groups, our Parents Association, and I'll go on to the next slide, our school board. They're both a little bit different. Both parent leadership groups. Our Parents Association supports the school in a variety of ways, including fundraising, different committees, volunteering. We have room parents, also serving as family mentors. I mentioned in the previous segment that you will each have a family mentor that will be contacting you. So those are some ways that parents can get involved with volunteering. It just helps to get involved if you're able to. You can do as much or as little as you want. Many of these things can be done from home, but volunteering does make your experience richer, and we do rely very much on our parent volunteers. Parents Association has a general meeting in January, so you'll be getting information about that as that comes up. It's always in the evening. We try to make it very easy for parents to attend. Then our school board is a little bit of a different format. School board is more of a forum that meets the second Tuesday of every month, and it's a place where any parent can come, anyone can come. The meetings are open, and just hear reports from different school and parish leadership on things that are going on. So that's kind of what school board does. It's a little bit more kind of a group for the school leadership to bounce ideas off of, and have that forum on the second Tuesday of the month for the meetings that are open, like I said, to everyone. Ways that your children can get involved in some different things. We have many, many clubs, and you'll be getting information about that. Some of the clubs that we have beginning in kindergarten include our chess club, we have our engineering club, rosary club, speed stacks, bocce club. I may be forgetting a few, but there are some things that the children can do right away in kindergarten as they get started with us, as well as sports. Kelly Kennedy is our parish athletic director, and in lieu of her filling you in on all of these things, I'm just going to try to share a little bit with you about the sports that we have. You can see them listed if you're following along on the slide in your PowerPoint. I know it's a little bit hard to see on the screen behind me, but we do have many sports that are available for the kids all the way from K through 8. Starting in kindergarten, in the fall and the spring we have Munchkin soccer, and in the winter we have Munchkin basketball, and from there we just expand. As the kids get older and older, there are more and more things that they can do. Sports are very, very popular here at St. Hilary. And last thing I need to talk to you about is our tuition and fees. If you have any questions at all about tuition and fees, you want to contact our business manager. His name is Lou Camerato. Had we done this in person, he would have been with us to talk with you. But if you have any questions, you can reach him at L Camerato, that's LCAMERATO, at STHILRYCHURCH.org. Lou Camerato, L Camerato at sthillarychurch.org. So your tuition invoices have been mailed. Tuition assistance awards and scholarships that would be applicable are included on those tuition invoices. And now you just need to watch for an email that you'll be receiving about setting up your fax tuition payments. So that's the last step in the process. And again, if you have any questions, you can contact Lou directly about that. And at this time, I'll turn it back over to Mrs. Woodman to finish us out. And I look forward to seeing all of you in August. And don't hesitate to contact me in the meantime if you have any questions. Thank you.
It's Mrs. Woodman again, and I would like to talk to you about summer preparation for your incoming kindergartner. So typically, in a normal situation, we would have provided you some feedback from our kindergarten screening. So even though we didn't get to do that, we want to just ensure you that there are ways that you can keep your future kindergartner's skills sharp. So in your acceptance packet, there are many ideas and ways that you can do that. But other things that we want to remind you of are this. Keep reading. So keep reading with your child, and if they are starting to recognize letters and sounds in those books, that's great. Just keep those reading skills sharp and keep them excited about reading. With math, keep numbers in everything you do. I know that many of us are not having the typical experiences we have right now, but really anytime you can incorporate math into anything you're doing, baking with your child, maybe doing outside work with your child, please keep that at the forefront. Also, keep your child's social and emotional skills sharp. And I know that it's hard right now because we're not able to maybe have those play dates that we would like, but really keeping your child talking and asking them questions. We also have several resources on our COVID-19 website that you can look to, and we have great counselors here, and you're a part of our family already. So if you need help in that department, please just let us know. And really talk positively about kindergarten. Kindergarten is the most magical year. We know that no matter how our format is next year, that your child is going to be so excited about coming to St. Hilary School. We are so excited that your child is coming to St. Hilary School. So please, before we sign off here on our virtual kindergarten orientation, just know that we are planning for your child, we already love your child, and we are here for you. If you have any questions at all, please direct them to Mrs. Debbie Sinopoli, and she will make sure that whoever needs to answer your question will do that. We want you to know, again, we're here for you, and stay Sabre strong.